What is up, guys? Welcome to another live session. Today is October 31st, 2019. Happy Halloween if you guys celebrate that. I think most of us are too old for that, but anyways, happy Halloween. Let's get into the charts. Before we do that, CAD yen is looking pretty. Trump's impeachment is gaining some momentum, apparently. The House is going to do a vote to see how they should proceed. But there is a process to impeachment. Obviously, you're taking the commander in chief, out of office, and obviously there's routes to take that. But yeah, the Senate vote requires 2/3 majority to convict. Unlikely in this case, given that Trump's party controls the chamber. So we'll see what happens. I don't think we'll know anything till later in the week, maybe in next week. But who knows what can happen with the dollar? Could be for better or worse. Not too sure how this could impact it. But I thought I'd share this. I got the notification, so why not? Going on to trades. So yesterday we had a trifecta. Aussie dollar, CAD yen, and Aussie yen. So it was a bit of a mixed story. We had one trade not get activated, one trade get activated in our second scenario, which was Aussie yen, and CAD yen go the scenario we predicted. So let's start off with CAD yen. Looking pretty good. This level, which we talked about yesterday, our second take profit level, 82,163, has come into play. And there's a reason why we choose these levels. And price is kind of chilling there, stalling there, whatever you want to call it. Going to the hourly. During the live, I made the call. Our entry was 82,720, around there. And, we dropped, maybe 13 or so pips, 12 pips. And then we kind of, reverted back. And, we were printing some hammers. And, in this live session yesterday, I did talk about this support region, this resistance region, this previous resistance region, acting as some sort of support. And we could pop back up here and then go lower, or whatever the case may be. And this is before the Chinese manufacturing PMI that came out. So I just wanted to be safe. Where is that yet? So manufacturing PMI, and I said around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock to get out. And when CAD yen came back, reverted back down, I knew we were still good to go. And so we closed out at entry, or in maybe 2 pips profit, and got back in at right around 82,670, 650. Yeah, the rest is history. We had a nice fall. Currently we're sitting at some hourly support. Let's see, looking to the left. So definitely take your partials and move stops into entry. If you want, you can just close out right away right now. Just because this week we only took a handful of trades. But no losses is what I care about, especially for NFP week. Since that week has notoriously been pretty hard to trade, but it's looking good for us. Aussie yen, which is the second trade of our trifecta, was activated, and the long was activated. So let's talk about that. And we can see a beautiful setup. So yesterday's session, we did speak about this horizontal array and how we needed a closure above. And we did get that, and we got our patented break retest rejection. And if you didn't get in on this, enter this bullish closure above, right? All we were looking for is a closure above, right? Because we knew that momentum was there, and we just needed a break above. As you can see to the left, we had wicks, but no closure. But we had, that break above, we had that retest, the rejection with this bullish candle closing above these previous highs. And if you entered there, that's around 40 pips, just like that. So while CAD yen was falling, or maybe starting to fall, this was going up, which is great. So another easy 40 pips. And if we look on our flip side, we also had a short scenario depending on Aussie yen. So Aussie yen, the short scenario could happen. Like I said, we wanted a bearish closure below this level. And this was not a bearish closure. This was a hammer. But luckily for us, it did get that closure. It's doing that retest on the green candle. This red candle came to reject. Ideally, we wanted this next candle right here to close a lot more bullish. This is a pretty significant hammer that was printed on 74,450. So it's a pretty decent level. Just on the hourly time frame, previous resistance / support, and so for us to get on the short, we wanted this to close a lot more bearish than this, because obviously, if you know by trading before, this is obviously not a bearish candle. It's more so saying that buyers pushed all the sellers back up here. So we'll see how that goes. The 4-hour doesn't look too bad. Again, it does look like a hammer. So for our trade, for the short this time around, we do want some sort of closure, maybe somewhere down here. And our next entry would probably be from 74,330 down. And we would need a closure below, bearish closure like we've seen in the past. So we can see the bearish closure, the retest, the rejection. We have the short trade right there. So that's what we're looking for. It's already Thursday. Tomorrow's NFP. And today's pretty quiet. So we'll see what's in store for some of the pairs. Now let's look at Aussie dollar, which kind of rocketed. So going to the hourly time frame. We wanted a short. You can see the initial idea here. This is not the same risk to reward we had, but anyways, we wanted a closure below 0.68550. You can see we never got that closure. We got that wick. We never got that closure, and this is why I do not use sell stops unless I'm absolutely tired. I'm going to sleep and whatever. If you use a sell stop for this trade, you would have got burnt bad because you got wick down here, and then Aussie dollar would have stopped you out within a few hours. So, our short trade was not activated, and Aussie dollar is for some reason gaining. Might be due to the manufacturing, information that came out yesterday. But the daily can tell a different tale. It does say the short, it's still there. Our daily trend line's coming into play. We have a nice first touch, second touch, third touch, fourth touch, and if we zoom in, we can see on the daily time frame, we're kind of printing a shooting star right on that trend line. So if we do get a closure below that trend line, I'd be happy to short again. Just the NFP's tomorrow, so I don't really want to hold a trade with that NFP data coming out, especially with a vote happening today with Trump possibly, having impeachment inquiry. So, there's always something every week. Whether it's a fundamental week or, last week was just Brexit, and maybe next week's just gonna be impeachment. So, it's been a pretty rocky quarter in terms of trading conditions. Obviously they haven't been ideal, but we've fared well, and that comes with just knowing how to trade and knowing when to sit out a trade or enter a trade. So 2 of the trades out of trifecta did what we wanted, and that's great. So let's look at some more trades for the week. EURUSD, possibly a short. We spoke about this level in the past, and we're back at it again. We can see 111,500, 111,600. The last time EURUSD rallied and we wanted to go long, we wanted that bullish closure above to go to 112,500. We never got that. We actually came back in our channel and actually had a bounce off our channel. We'll see on a smaller time frame. Back to this level, and we're printing a shooting star. So that might indicate a nice intraday short. As you can see here, our channel, we've closed back, and at this point, our technicals were saying a short, and you can see why it makes sense. We had our ascending channel here. We had a breakout, we had a retest and a rejection, and so our first take profit was 110,715. on our chart, as you can see by the level, it's 110.725. But we did get that 28 pips, and you know, whenever you get that 25 pips or the 28 pips, 25 pips or the first take profit, always take your partials. If you're gonna go to sleep and you can't afford to, you know, keep closing partials, just close out the trade. You know, when you enter the signal, just enter it to TP1, and the reason being is, you know, this move afterwards was actually fueled by the USD consumer confidence, which came out worse than expected. So, you know, we got snapback right at entry, and the rest is history. But we can see why we might want to short, especially from where we are right now. So if we put this over here, not a bad, you know, intraday setup. Let's see if we go back to here, if it's still a good setup. Yeah, it's still a pretty good setup. Maybe a 60 pip target. I'm not too sure if I would enter this, just because I feel like there's more to this setup than what it's showing right now. Seems a bit too good to be true. Especially with NFP tomorrow. If NFP was not tomorrow, I'd hold it and just, you know, let it ride out, because our stop loss is only 35 pips, 36 pips, so it's not gonna break the bank if it does end up in loss. But I want to limit the risk as much as possible. And if you look at the forecast again, you know, it's forecasted to do. NFP is supposed to be, the employment change is supposed to do worse. Around 46k less jobs than last year, and employment rate's actually supposed to go higher by 0.1%. So, you know, if we're holding that, you know, and those numbers come out true, you know, Euro will just rock it. So, I don't know, this trade setup looks pretty good, to be honest. Just for an intraday short, yeah, let's enter it. Go ahead and enter it, guys. Entry is 1.11370. First target will be 1.11100. The next one will be 1.10720. Let's go ahead, enter it right away. Stop loss will be 1.11770. Okay, so 40 pip stop loss. We're already dropping as we speak. Let's let it rip. You know, if you guys are believing for it, let's just let it rip. Let's do it. Let's do it. We had a pretty good week so far. One loss is gonna break the bank. So let's do it. It's already dropping, so hopefully we'll continue that momentum. And you know, rest of the day fundamentally is quiet, so we'll see what happens. And that's Euro USD. Another trade. We're still holding CAD yen, which is great. We're waiting for Aussie yen to maybe, you know, close a bit more bearish than we would like it to enter short. Pound. Let's see what's pound's up to. Pound is also gearing up for intraday intraday short. Yeah, I'll actually send this on Telegram as well, the signal, right after. But yeah, pound dollar could potentially bring an intraday short. If it could just come back a bit closer to where our array is, 129.800, that'd provide a better entry to go down. Just because we haven't quite touched it as we've done in the past. In the past, we had significant pushes above. That's what we're waiting for, and that going in line with our Euro USD short. So while we you know, not much to say about this, you know, kind of a trading range if you want to call it, and let's actually plot that down. The stop loss will be really tight for this trade, actually. So let's see, our overall target would be around 160 pips. So if we can catch this, that'd be phenomenal. We'll have another 320 pip plus week if we catch this. So risk to reward 2.5. Entry would be somewhere around here. That is if the pound dollar comes up to this level. I mean, maybe shows a rejection. You know, a bearish candle, a shooting star, dark cloud cover, any of those that, you know, signify a sell. If if we enter somewhere around here, 160 pip payoff and a pretty tight stop loss, just 60 pips. So be on the lookout for that. I'll actually put an alert. That's how you do the alert. Crossing up. Perfect. So while we're looking at dollar strength, let's just look at the gold. Let's see what's happening with gold. Okay, so I think yesterday or the day before, we were looking for the short, and we did not get the closure we want. Oh, this was early in the week. Perfect. My bad. Oh my lord, we have a nice short on gold. Yeah. Wow. Since it's gold and since NFP is on the way, enter short with maybe 50% of your regular position. Let's do it. 2.44. Stop loss is 80 pips away. Half position 40 pips away. Let's do it. Short gold, and we're shorting euro. So go ahead and enter our first take profit. Right now we're at 15.10. Let's say our first take profit's 1507. 1507 is fine. 1507 is good. 1507. I'll send the specifics after 1507. We can target maybe 1502, and then 1496, and you can see where we're headed from the previous instances when we were at this level. Right, you guys can see it. And so this is what we're expecting. Okay, so we're taking the high probable setups, and this is a high probable setup for me. Pretty tight stop loss, and we're going half position just because it is gold. And those for the small accounts can still enter because we're going half position. Obviously, if you have a $100 account, please don't enter. But you know what I mean by now. Yeah, make sure risk to rewards risk management's taking being implemented. No more than 2 to 3% per trade. So let's ride this out. Yeah, we'll see where this takes us. But the hourly looks pretty good. Yeah, the stop loss isn't too big anyways, and it has enough room to give it some breathing room in case we do pop back up here. So let's go ahead and enter that. And actually, if you guys haven't entered that, which I think you guys already did, just looking at the hourly, there would have been a better entry if we just waited for a break below 1509, maybe somewhere down here. But it's fine, just to keep it fair and transparent. Pretty sure you guys already entered. It's fine, leave it. Maybe give our stop loss a bit more room, just because this previous wick was here. Just trying to squeeze that out. Let's see this side. Okay, 1519 is a good stop loss. Okay, so 45 pip stop, and we have a payout of over 200 pips. So that's good. I think that's enough setups. A lot of dollar setups, which I did not want the day before NFP. But if the setup's there, we're gonna take it, and we're gonna, if we do get in some drawdown, we can always close half our position and just minimize that overall risk. With that being said, we have CAD yen still paying out. So pretty good spot to leave off today's session. We covered our trifecta, a few more trades to take, and I think for NFP week, it's a nice amount of trades that we're in, to make sure that we're still being active in the markets but not being too exposed. So as we know, tomorrow is NFP, and we'll have the results at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and we have manufacturing PMI at 10 a.m. So tomorrow morning, hopefully we're out of all the trades by maybe London session today, latest, and we don't have to go through any of this drama, and we can just watch. And so tomorrow we'll have, you know, the weekly recap, and we'll talk about what happened with NFP and what setups we can look forward to next week. So yeah, if you guys, one more reminder, today is our Halloween special. It's ending at midnight. If you're, you know, your subscription's running out, or, you know, you have a friend that's new to trading, this only applies to them. If you have a friend that's new to trading and you want them to take advantage of the service, but they're probably not comfortable with maybe paying $97 up front for a month, recommend them to get advantage of the Halloween promotion. For 1 month, you're gonna get, you know, for 1 month of service, you're gonna get 2 months if you sign up in the next 12 hours. And be on the lookout for the daily write-ups. So every day after the live session, I do a write-up about what happened this session, and I send it out to everyone's email. So you know, it might come to you as, you know, you'll have different titles, so there's no set title, but it'll be in relation to what we talked about in the live. And so if you ever need a, you know, a recap of what happened, or for some reason you couldn't, you know, watch the live, we usually send out these emails within 1 to 2 hours of the live, along with the actual video on the portal. So if, you know, you're on the train and you can't watch the live, or because it's too noisy or whatever, you can definitely just read the recap and get insight from it, and then when you get time, watch the session. So I think that's all the talking points. If you have a friend, just let them know, hey, if you pay for a month, you get 2 months of service. And you know, if you do 97, you know, divided by 2, you're pretty much paying for, you know, maybe $46.50 for 2 months. So that's pretty good. $46.50 for 2 months of full access to our signals, our live sessions, our portal, our charts, a lot of good stuff there. So I don't think it's a bad deal at all. I've said this before. If I was ever a trader, I would love to have a trading room and, you know, daily live sessions teaching me how to trade, and we have a chat. So you know, we've built some nice relations over the years, you know, over the few months as well. Tommy, Jared, you know. Actually, let me just look at NZD yen for you, Tommy, before I end this off, because we did analyze that yesterday. And we will send this one off. Kind of feel obligated to, just because these sessions have been shorter than usual because of NFP. So I think this was the top-down analysis we did, or maybe not. Maybe it was the first chart. Yes, it was. Okay, so cool. So NZD yen has kind of followed the same pattern as CAD yen and Aussie yen. So it had the initial push, you know, early in the day yesterday. And for longs, we did want, you know, that break-retest-rejection. We didn't get that, obviously, here. And so we had that short. We drew this trend line to maybe, you know, catch that short. And right now we're printing a shooting star on the daily time frame again, at this resistance we draw live. We drew all these levels live at 69,400 area. So it's good that our levels are right in the spots we need them to be, and they have meaning to them. And the 4-hour can pretty much tell you that we've created a secondary resistance right around here. Okay, let's see, right at 69,850, you can see some resistance. So for NZD yen, like we've said in yesterday's session, to go short, we wanted a closure below 68,980. Okay, and in, you know, after the session, we got that break of the trend line we drew, which is great, but we did not get that closure below to take us down. So you know, we're right around 50 to 40 pips away from that level. If we do get that break in the next 12 hours, then we can enter it. If not, this is still a great setup for next week. So I think that's a good spot to end it off. Yeah, so be safe, guys. If you're going to be trading the news tomorrow, we have that strategy on our YouTube. how to trade news, RP Forex, Forex Lens. Just YouTube that and you'll see the video. So I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll have a lot of things to discuss. And yeah, so have a great day, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.